Next, we will be hearing from the Office of Family Safety. If you could begin making your way down. Okay, we'll give you a second to get settled. This is the Office of Family Safety. In prior years, you would have received a different question, but due to budgetary constraints and with the understanding of a status quo recommended budget, what does that entail for the operations of your department? And just for the viewing audience, if you can provide a brief synopsis as it relates to the services that you provide to the city, and the floor is yours, Ms. Lance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Diane Lance, and I am the department head for Metro's Office of Family Safety. And to my right is Andrew Sullivan, who is the financial officer for our department. Sitting in the back is Whitney Blanton, who is the director of the Gene Crow Advocacy Center, our court-based family justice center, and our training manager and outreach manager, Latoya Townsend. I see council members looking back there. You're waving. Okay, good. So just to tell you a little bit about our department, Madam Chair and council members, our focus at the Office of Family Safety is in public safety, and our particular focus in that area is to improve victim safety and offender accountability and coordinate services in our community through Metro and our nonprofit partners to better assist domestic violence and sexual assault victims. And we do that with our coordinated work among different Metro departments, our Family Justice Center, soon to be Family Justice Centers, and the nonprofit partners that we have. Our department has 12 Metro-funded employees and 16 grant-funded employees. Some of those are direct grants from the federal government, and some are pass-through grants through the state of Tennessee. We accomplish our mission to improve victim safety and offender accountability each day with really 3 essential types of programming. The first is direct services that we provide to victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. The second is our work in coordinating how our system as a whole responds to the highest risk domestic violence cases in our community. And by highest risk, I'm naturally referring to highest risk that those cases will become lethal. And third, by conducting our third major area of programming is the trainings and outreach that we conduct within our own government to our partners such as police, health department, social services, and to our community as a whole. 4 years ago, we opened Nashville's first Family Justice Center, and that is our court-based Family Justice Center, the Gene Crow Advocacy Center. Last year alone, we had 5,609 victim visits to that center. That averages 470 per month. That number doubles when you include the children and family members that also come and accompany them to the JCAC. Partners that work out of the Gene Crow Advocacy Center include the District Attorney's Office, the Police Department, Legal Aid Society, the YWCA, and Morningstar Sanctuary. And the services that we provide, those direct services, are safety planning, resource connection, case management, risk assessment, orders of protection. That was 2,632 orders of protection we obtained for victims last year, support groups, and domestic violence and sexual assault education. We've worked really hard this past year with some funding and support from grants to expand our reach beyond the 4 walls of the JCAC. We have a new program where we outreach to our female inmate population that we do in cooperation with the Sheriff's Office, where we go into one of the quads and we talk to them about domestic violence and sexual assault. And that's been a really, it's probably a little jewel in my heart. It's been one of my favorite programs because we're finding that the female inmates are very responsive to that training, and they're a very vulnerable population, either prior to coming in or upon release, to being victims of domestic violence and sexual assault. So we really enjoy equipping them with the information and tools to maybe avoid those types of victimizations and people that might prey upon them. We have a survivor group that we work with at Mary Parish Center, so we cooperate with them and go to that transitional housing program and do a support group with them. And we have we've really reached out into the sex trafficking arena in Nashville for support. And we are working with Cherished Hearts and Grace Empowered to provide domestic violence and sexual assault education, because truly in the area of sex trafficking, domestic violence oftentimes overlaps. We are really excited about what's coming up here shortly, which is the opening of our community-based Family Justice Center. So we have our court-based, the JCAC, and the community-based on Murfreesboro Road. And the plan, right from what we understand, is that will be opening in January 2019. And it's really exciting to have this program be in the community because, one, it will be easier for victims to continue to access our services. The courthouse location is very challenging and expensive to park and to come in for additional services. It also, importantly, will help us reach those victims that are not engaging in our law enforcement and court services. We find, and across the country, you find that the vast majority of intimate partner homicides, those victims are not engaging law enforcement and the courts. And so having this community-based Family Justice Center is going to be very important, our outreach efforts and things like that, to try to reach those victims that do not want to engage those services and really work to bring down that intimate partner homicide rate. Our planning team for the new Family Justice Center, consisting of all people volunteering to help us with everything that needs to be figured out before this. It's one thing to build a building, it's another thing to figure out how all the work's going to happen in the building. We have over 80 people from metro departments and 15 nonprofit agencies. Madam Chair asked me about our status quo. Our status quo is not asking really for any additional funds that don't have to do with the work that's going to happen in the new Family Justice Center. But with the building opening, we do have specific asks in terms of what we need at a bare minimum for the Family Justice Center when it should open in January. In anticipation of opening, we are asking for funding in 3 distinct categories. The mayor's budget proposal has prorated those positions in anticipation of the January opening date, and prorated 2 positions that are critical grant-funded positions that we keep including in our budget each year, that those will expire at the end of September. So the first funding category for the new Family Justice Center is in the area, again, of direct client services, and that includes 1 receptionist for the building, and that is the person in charge of the warm greeting and directing clients to where they need to be and who they need to see, and 2 advocate positions. We plan on utilizing some of the JCAC advocates at this building, which is why 2 we feel should be sufficient for the first year of this building. Those are the people that obviously provide the safety planning and resource connection and other services like that. The second area of funding category is the person that we have currently that is in charge of identifying and responding to the highest risk cases, highest risk domestic violence cases. And that is currently our high risk program manager. That position will expire at the end of September. This person does all the work around the lethality assessment, high-risk teamwork, where we have all our partners come together and really work about how we can make our response to that offender move at a more rapid pace than the offender's level of lethality is moving. That can be, calling probation because he's on probation and that might need to be revoked. So everyone wrapping around their information and knowing how to respond. As an update to the lethality assessment and the information that this position manages, last year there were 7,400 lethality assessments performed, And of those, nearly half, 3,878, were considered high-risk cases, which means those victims were given direct communication with the YWCA hotline. 50% of those LAPs, the victim identified that they had been strangled by their offender. 37% stated that their offender threatened to kill them or their children. 29% had been threatened with a weapon, with 36% stating that there was a firearm in the home. So that's just a fraction of the work that position does. The third funding category for the new Family Justice Center is outreach. And outreach includes a few things in our world. First, outreach includes trainings for the community and our Metro partners. So in our new Family Justice Center, we want everyone to be trained in a similar and like manner and have the same baseline knowledge. We also helped HR we created and are sharing with HR a domestic violence curriculum in hopes that that can be rolled out to Metro departments. This partnership has come on the tail of learning about domestic violence incidents that occur within our own coworkers in our other departments, and how do we help supervisors know how to handle that, and how do we help coworkers know how to support their fellow employees. So we've worked hard on that, and this training manager would be the trainer for that Metro curriculum. This training manager would do the outreach to communities, churches, community groups to try to make sure people know where to go if they don't necessarily want to involve the courts or law enforcement. And also, quite importantly, is to outreach to those marginalized and underserved communities that might have hesitations to coming and seeking out services. So that is one of the big responsibilities of that training and outreach manager. And you also see a resource coordinator. That is a volunteer and intern manager. And that person, we have a lot of great universities that we utilize at the JCAC. It is intensive management to meet the school's criteria for how those interns need to be managed, the supervision and the reporting back to the university. So there will need to be able to have university interns at the new Family Justice Center. We will need someone to do that same work and mirror that type of work at the new center. Because it's really a privilege to do the work that I do. I travel to conferences, Family Justice Center conferences across the country, and when people hear about the way our city collaborates around domestic violence programming, how innovative we are, and the investments our city is making, I'm really proud to describe what we have going on, and other people want to learn more, and I'm really looking forward to us hosting other cities so they can see how we're doing our work in Nashville. I really am thankful for your all support. You've been so supportive since the launch of the JCAC, and it's just really a great thing, and we're making a difference. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'm sure Andrew is when it comes to specifics around our budget.
Thank you so much. Councilman Schulman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Director, a couple of questions. One is just to clarify, on the positions that are coming online, I think there are 6.
Yes,
I believe that's right. These are all funded half-time, well, raise that, from January forward, because you're not going to need them until around January, correct?
Yes, sir, except the high-risk manager and the training manager. They are under an ICJR grant with the federal government, and that expires at the very end of September.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is figure out, for purposes of next budget cycle, as you were back there when I asked the it's the same thing. So how many positions are we talking about? Are we talking about 4 positions that we'll have to fully fund in the next budget cycle? Or is it 6?
All 6.
All 6. Okay. So again, so are there 6 we're partially funding this year, and then assuming this all goes through, and then next year we have to provide full funding for those 6 positions?
Right.
All right. Second question is, I know that last year we put some extra money in for the YWCA and for their program, and I think it was $275,000. Is that in here anywhere?
Yes.
Is it 275? Did we leave it where it was?
The mayor's recommended budget.
Okay, so it stays at the increased level that we got them for. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then the last one is the Community Partnership Fund. I know we're seeing those in different places. This is the fund for distributing some money out to areas that are associated with your program, and they'll come through your fund, you'll come through some type of evaluation process. Is that right?
Formerly the Community Enhancement Fund.
Okay, so it's the same thing. It's just been spread out in different places, and one of them is with you all.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Schulman. Council Lady Johnson, Karen Johnson.
Thank you, Chair Vercher. Thank you, Director Lance and Andrew, for being here. And thank you for all of your work that you are doing for such an important entity within our metro government. My question is twofold here. One, going back to last year, as I kind of was tracking the progress of your office. And one of the things we funded last year was the funds to implement the new software to better track and report the clients that are served through the Office of Family Safety. So can you give me an update as to the success of that? And also needed clarification on the 6 positions. On those 6 positions, is it partially funded right now by the grant, but you still need the full funding, so when that expires, you will still be able to keep the positions? Is that how that's going to work?
Okay, I'll answer your second question first, because it's a little bit more complex. So of those 6 positions, 2 are currently grant funded. And so the mayor's proposal for that is a prorated amount starting at the time the grant expires, which is at the end of September.
Okay.
Okay. And the other positions are positions that have not yet existed and are prorated to the start date or the opening date of the new Family Justice Center.
Okay, got it.
Question 2, did that answer that one?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
For your first question, which I've gone blank, what was that again? Thank you, the software.
The software to
So
attract the clients.
Is something, we have an ongoing committee that we work very hard on this. This is actually a struggle for family justice centers across the country, trying to find the best software for a family justice center. JIS plans on helping us with that process, and so we are doing the work of virtually, I guess, I'm not sure if that's the right word, creating exactly what we need this software to do and working closely with the National Alliance on things that we might miss and what the software needs to do. And then JIS will help Liaison to find that proper group to do that. We have an access database. We work closely with IT for that. John Stone with IT is working really hard to keep updating that, to continuing to meet our growing needs. He has been absolutely clear that this database will not work when we move into the new system. We will max it out. It actually crashes every now and again because it's just being so heavily utilized, and it's just a lot of modifications on it. Also not a good idea to have only really one person have been the builder of that. So it is not something that is forgotten. It is a top priority for us. It's just a matter of finding the right tool, and we plan on continuing to lean on JIS to help us with that. Did you have something you wanted to add on that? All right.
So do you have the appropriate funding necessary to continue to implement that to the level that is needed for it to be?
We hope so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Lady Johnson. Seeing no other council members seeking recognition, thank you so much, Ms. Lance, to you and your staff for everything that you do in serving the city. As they are making their way down, the next department that we will be hearing from is our police department. If you can make your way up.